to weekly webinars. Before we go to our next screen, I wanted to just do some housekeeping real quick. So while you were waiting, hopefully you went into ELM and registered. If not, you can do that at any point. You will register once, and that will work for the entire semester through December 21st. So that's a nice feature this year, that you don't have to go in there weekly and register for each class. Also, number 2, you are welcome to sign in for attendance. That is the only way I'm going to know that you're here, to give you points. So please, if you're at weeklywebinars.palmbeachschools.org, just above and below the chat where you're probably watching this is the sign in Google form. So please, you will sign in weekly so that we can make sure that we have an accurate attendance for every webinar. Okay, so this week we are going to learn all about Google Cast for Education. Thank you for joining me. My name is Melissa Matthews, and I work with the Department of Educational Technology. In our department, we teach teachers how to use technology effectively and engagingly, is that a word? For in your classroom instruction. Weekly webinars are every Tuesday from 8:30 to 9, and again from 3 to 3:30. It is the same content at both times, so you only need to watch once. This year, we've changed everything, so it's a one-stop shop. Everything's at weeklywebinars.palmbeachschools.org. Today in the background, I have 2 very beautiful helpers. One is Miss Teresa Miller. She's here helping, and also Rebecca Smikla. They will be monitoring the chat window, and I know you're thinking, where's the chat window? I will show you in just a moment. And so they're in the background helping, making sure that everything's working. We are on a new platform. I know last year we used Adobe Connect. This year we are using Google Hangouts Live on Air. So we did it this morning. It worked beautifully. So hopefully we'll have that same experience this afternoon. So question number 1, what in the world is Google Cast for Education? So if you are on the browser at weeklywebinars.palmbeachschools.org, in the bottom right corner, you are going to see a YouTube little link or word. If you move your mouse over it, if you click that word YouTube, it will open up the video in YouTube, and on the right side of the video, you will see a chat window. So please go ahead and head on over to there and type in that box for me. What in the world is Google Cast for Education? What do you think it is? How is it going to help your classroom? Go ahead and start typing. I also know in this format, we do have about a 7-second delay. So I kind of have to talk a little bit to eat up that time. So I will do that while my friends are monitoring the chat window for me. Okay, so we're going to move on because we're not seeing any chats yet, but that's okay. We're just going to keep going. So Google Cast for Education is a free Chrome extension that allows students, or anyone really, to project their image of their screen onto the big screen that hopefully is attached to the projector. So you will have a receiver to catch the image, which is what we're going to install right now, the Google Cast for Education. And anyone on a Chrome browser is able to cast their image to whomever they like. So it's a very easy to use tool, and it works quite well in a classroom situation. So we're going to move on. So get mobile. I know a lot of us sit at the front corner of our rooms behind our computer desks, and we have our document camera and our computer, and we teach from that seat. Therefore, we can't monitor behavior. We can't monitor what our students are doing. We're stuck up there in that corner because that's where our method of presenting is at, if you will. If you have any kind of a computer, you are able, any kind of a laptop, if you, that is, you are able to use that and cast to your desktop computer and walk around and teach from that device and be mobile, as opposed to being tethered to your desk, which is a very, very nice feature. So how do I get Cast for Education? Well, the first thing you need to do is you need to sign into Google Chrome. So to sign into Google Chrome, first of all, before I even say that, if you are on a Chromebook,
they're saying that you're cutting in and out every 4 words or so.
uh-oh, I'm cutting in and out. I have no idea how to fix that.
3 people are agreeing, and mine keeps refreshing too.
Okay, so let's see if I can find something to hardwire, and maybe that might help. Not that one. Okay, minor technical break here real quick. We're going to see if I can't steal a plug and hardwire real quick, so maybe that might help. Okay, so I am hardwired now. Let's see if I can. I know you're seeing the screen. I apologize. Internet turned on. Okay, I'm going to keep talking and hopefully that will help. Looks like I'm connected hardwired, so let's pray on that one. No? Okay. So the first thing you need to do is if you're on a Chromebook, when you sign into your Chromebook, you are automatic. Excuse me, I apologize. If you were signed in on a Chromebook, you are automatically signed into Google Chrome. So there's nothing you need to do on a Chromebook. However, if you're on your Dell or if you're on a laptop, you will need to sign into Google Chrome. So how do you do that? In the top right corner, you are either going to see your name if you've already signed in, or a little head. If you see the head, click on the head, and then just below it, you'll see a sign in button. It will ask you to type your entire email address, followed by your username and your password in order to get in, and that will allow you to sign into Chrome. Once you're signed in, all of your extensions, as you can see on my screen, will populate. In addition to all of your bookmarks will populate. So that's actually quite a nice feature. That way, every time you sign into Google Chrome, all of that will follow you and work beautifully wherever you are. So you won't have to add all those extensions every time, and you'll have all of your bookmarks.
Keeps refreshing and cutting you out.
Okay. I don't know how to fix it. I know. I'm going to keep going. Hopefully this is recording well, and worst comes to worst, we can always watch the recording. And we can always do it again at another time. And I know the morning recording worked well, so we can always watch that as well. So moving on. So if you go to the Chrome Web Store, how do you get there? Just Google Chrome Web Store, or you can go to your apps button and you should see a little shopping bag that looks like a Chrome Web Store, or that looks like the Chrome logo, and that will also take you to the Chrome Web Store. Once you're there, go ahead and search Cast for Education or Google Cast for Education. It looks like what you see on the screen. There is a beta version now. We are not using the beta version. We are only using the normal version. And go ahead and you're going to see a button that says Add to Chrome. Go ahead and click that to add it to Chrome. Once you do that, give your computer a receipt. Actually, once you do that, I'm going to go live. And let me show you. We're going to click that extension that now that we've added it. And it's going to open up. Hopefully. Well, it's not back there. Let's refresh, see if it fixes itself. Uh-oh. think we're having some technical issues over here.
You might want to say go to school site.
I am not at my normal site. I am at a school site. And at the beginning of this training, I couldn't even get online. So I am now online at least, which is beautiful. And I am hardwired as well. However,
So this is the beta version.
it does not want to populate. I'm wondering if it's from before. I'm just trying to find that real quick. You know what? I'm going to quit Chrome. It's still going.
There you are. Let's see.
Okay. Sorry about that. We had some technical errors there. So now we are back. So what I've done is I have added Google Cast for Education from the Chrome Web Store. I've launched it by just clicking it, and this box has now appeared with the time. And settings, the first time you use it, will automatically open. So this is the receiver. So this is going to, as a student does some wonderful work in your classroom, and you want that student to share that wonderful work with everyone in the room, they are going to cast their image to the receiver, which will catch it and display it up on the big screen. So you need to name your receiver according to what you want your student to cast their image to. So for example, I have a Mac, I have a Dell, I have a Chromebook, I have an iPad. So I will name this computer Melissa's or Matthew's MacBook. I also have my Dell named Matthew's Dell. I have my Chromebook named Matthew's Chromebook, etc. I did say iPad, but I do not think it works on an iPad, so disregard that, please. I like having the automatically full screen presentation button checked. That means that if Rebecca were to cast her image to me, it will automatically take over my screen full screen, and that way everyone in the room can see it. The second box says to automatically send any issues to Google on my behalf. That way, when something breaks, I don't have one more thing to do by sending a work order to Google. Google will automatically receive it. Hopefully they'll fix it and all will be well. The last one, please, oh, please don't put background images on the web up on my machine because I never know what they are and I do not want to get in trouble. So I always keep that box unchecked and I click save. The next box that opens is the share box. The share box is going to enable you to add people. You can add emails. So I could add Rebecca. Oop, not Rebecca Raddick, Rebecca Skla. There she is. And I can have her have request or present permissions. So I'm going to have her request because I'd like to show you how that's going to look. So I'm going to add that. And so she pops up here. You can see how she now has permissions. Notice I can also pull any Google Classroom and I can have it where the teachers can present and the students can request, or they can all present. I could also, let's say I'm about to have a PLC. So I could pull my 1651 fifth grade teachers and I could enable them to share their screen and show the awesome work that their students are doing during my PLC by just selecting that. So that is how you add groups, people, or classrooms to your Google Classroom. Now, people cannot cast to your receiver unless they have permission. So it's very vital that you add permissions for them to access your receiver. Once you're all done, you can go ahead and click close and it'll save it for you. And mine kept opening before. I'm not sure why, but we don't need it open. We just need it closed. So let's see if that'll close. There you go. So now that I've done that, Rebecca does not have her receiver installed on her computer, and students do not need that either. The only thing a student would need, and this button here, this Google Cast receiver, must be open in order for anyone to cast to your machine. But it does not need to be active on your screen. It can be minimized so that it's out of the way. Now that I've done that, I'm going to go over here to my 3 dots in the top right of my screen, and I'm going to go down to where it says Cast. Once I do that, here are the different places where I can cast my image. So you do not have to give permission to yourself to cast to your own machine. You automatically have permissions. But the only thing to be mindful of is right now, if I were to just click Melissa's Matthew's MacBook, it would only share this one tab. Everything else would be hidden. In order to share my entire desktop, I would just click this down arrow here, and I would say, I want to cast my whole desktop. And then I would go ahead and select where I want it to go, and it would pop up. So instead of me doing that, I'm going to have Rebecca share her screen to me. So she's going to go ahead and cast to me. So again, how is she doing that? The 3 dots. She's going to go down to cast, and she's going to go ahead and select Matthew's MacBook. Now, while she's getting ready, we're looking for that symbol on, I guess I gave her present mode instead of request mode. So voila, she is taking over my screen. There she is. She can scroll up and down. She can show the results to her assessment. And there you go. If I want to get her off of my screen, I just wiggle the mouse and that X pops up and I can kick her off my screen, and there she is. She's gone. Now, the only issue that I've encountered with Google Cast for Education is this is also the same thing as going down and selecting Cast. So this icon here is the same, and you can see when I select it, that blue box comes back up. However, if I right-click on there, Enable Cloud Services must have a check next to it, or casting will not work. So if any of your buddies are having any kind of an issue, right-click on that little icon and make sure that Enable Cloud Services does have that check so that it will work. Okay, so let's see what's next. We'll probably finish here a little early. So let's go over it. Casting must be in Google Chrome. If you are in Safari, IE, Edge, anything else, it will not work. Who can cast? Individuals, groups, or classes. You can cast your tab or just your desktop. And remember, by default, it's just your tab. So again, if you're having a problem, right-click on that little icon and enable Cloud Services. Now, do me a favor, in that chat box on the right side in that YouTube page, go ahead and tell me your opinion. Why in the world do we need Google Cast for Education? How will you use it? How will it change the way you teach? How will it benefit your environment? Go ahead and start typing your answers in that chat box over there. Okay, so while you're chatting away your answers, we're going to go to the next screen. If there's any questions at all, please go ahead and also type them in that chat window. So far, that chat window is pretty quiet. To get to that chat window again, let me show you how to get there. So if I'm at my weekly webinars page, and let me go to the view page so that you're seeing it the way I'm seeing it. Here's my view. If I go over to here, I'm going to click that YouTube. And it should pop me over to the YouTube page. The other thing I've heard is that if you click that toggle, I'm not sure why it's not taking me there. I'm seeing the picture in picture. Oh, you know what? I'm having issues. Let's see if I go straight there this way. There we go. So here's my chat window over here. And you can see all that chat going on right now. Calman says, I'll enjoy that my students are able to share their work. I'm excited that I can cast multiple screens. The recorded versions of the webinars are also going to be on this weekly webinars page. You can see all webinars are recorded and available here for FY19. They're also over here. So it's on my Google page. If you subscribe to my channel, you will get reminders and things. So it's there. So here are all of the chats. Oh, also, I was told that if you click this little cog over here, that gear, and you make the quality 720, you will have a lot better experience on our webinars. And that's something, unfortunately, you have to do, not me. So look how it does it one inside the other. That's kind of cool. This is the cascading effect. So that is something that will help the way that you view our webinars for the future. Let's go back here. So any questions, anything that I need to address that you see in the chat window? Okay.
Say that again about the quality 720, where to go.
Okay. So on that YouTube, if we're over here and we hit that gear, if I go to quality, I can change it to 720. And apparently that is the best way to watch our YouTubes, according to my wonderful friend, Mike, who seems to know an awful lot about this. He's the one who decided we should do it this way, which I thought was a great idea, using Google tools to teach Google. I like it. Good, Nikki. She's got it. So going back here, what's the homework? So you need to be here live in attendance. So that's why we have a sign-in sheet. It's date time stamped. I make sure that you are here during the sign-in. You will get 2 points just for being here. Or I'm sorry, you get a point for being here. If you do you get 2 points total if you do all three of these things. So you need to be live in attendance, and you need to turn in a screen capture of you using Google Cast for Education. So I need to be able to either see that X up at the top like you saw when Rebecca presented, or I need to be able to see that blue box showing that you're about to attach, or something proving that you know Google Cast for Education and you've used it. So I need some sort of a screen capture. It must be turned into ELM. I cannot accept it via email, and it needs to be done after the webinar. It may not be done during the webinar. The other thing is you need to take one survey for all of the webinars at the end, telling me whether or not I did a good job. It's the typical PD survey. However, I know that I probably won't get that for a while. So if you have any constructive criticisms or anything, please, oh, please email me and let me know. I am happy to take your critique and potentially fix it for next week. All homework this year is due December 21st. I have an extra comma in there, critiquing my own work. So you have plenty of time to turn your work in. And the next class is next Tuesday. It's October 2nd, 2018. Again, it's from 8:30 to 9 or 3 to 3:30. And it will be on Google Classroom. So hopefully you will join us for that. And that's all for today. We're 5 minutes early. So if there's any questions, anything you need help on, please go ahead and type it in the chat window. Anything I need to address, Rebecca? No? Nanny?
Person didn't sign in.
Okay, you can sign in now. No problem. It's still there on the weekly webinars.palmbeachschools.org website. Also, I saw Nanny said that she missed half of this. Both the morning was recorded and this afternoon should be recorded. Hopefully it records well. I know this morning's did. You're always welcome to go back and watch and pause and play and make sure that you get the full benefit of this training.
Robin is saying her cast destination keeps disappearing.
Okay, so if your cast destination is disappearing, Robin, you may want to either A, refresh your machine, or B, over there. Sorry. Or either, restart your machine, restart the Chrome browser, maybe log off and log back on. One of those things, I would start by refreshing your browser is the easiest. Then maybe turn Chrome off and turn it back on. If that doesn't work, then maybe restart your machine. Obviously, the easiest to the most difficult is what I would do. Any other questions? Okay. Ooh. Let's go back to here. Oh, I lost my presentation because I shut it, huh? Okay. Well, thank you very much. Have a wonderful afternoon. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me. Again, melissa.matthews@palmbeachschools.org.